Hey my friends, it's your friend Kevin, and this is your Divine Daily Blast. Yeah, we're not so fast. Before we get into the cards of the day and what's going on, I have a special request for you. Now, I've been doing this Divine Daily Blast for nearly 6 years. It started during the pandemic when everything got shut down, which incidentally happened 6 years ago next week. I have not charged any money for any of these videos, these daily videos, and I don't as yet get monetization from YouTube, Google, or any ad-based support. So I've got a couple of links I want to share with you. The first link is this one right here, Venmo, and the second link is this one right here, is my PayPal account. It's gracious blessings. I'm asking each one of you to consider, not request. I'm still doing the Divine Daily Blast. I just need to be able to monetize this channel some way, somehow. And I'm hoping that some of you would be willing to donate something to me. I want to possibly hop on later on and offer some readings. If that's something you're up for, let me know in the comments, or let me know by sending me an email, kevincross@me.com, that you'd like to request a reading, and we'll go from there. Right, my friends, thanks for your gifts and your blessings. Let's get right to the cards. All right, thank you for letting me share that with you. Let's get to today's number 8 angel numerology day. Let's get my notes out. Here we go. You know, even if you look at the shape of the number 8, it's a continuous flow, a continuous energetic flow of success. Success, my friends, comes in many different forms, but it's about abundance and prosperity, something which many of us watching this channel have likely struggled with. The struggle with much going out and not so much coming in. We have to look at abundance, prosperity, financial blessings as being like the flow of air, the flow of oxygen, the flow of sand, the flow of the oceans, just the flow of wind through trees, that kind of thing. And we have to align ourselves with this level of success, abundance, prosperity. It's a day to be coronated. The choices made with the number 8 day are favorable, and prayers have been answered. This is why I think I slid that little prompt at the beginning of the video. It works with the King of Earth. It works with Archangel Ariel, Jophiel, and it's a little bit like Leo energy and Virgo energy coming together to create something, make something happen. All right, moving on. Oddly enough, my friends, let's start here. Friday the 13th, magical for many. I like to say that. Louise Hay does a daily diary that gets printed way in advance of being available for purchase. So this has likely been on the printing presses a year ago. But needless to say, I do find it fascinating that when I pull one of these off, it matches up with what we've got going on here. So I release all things that no longer benefit me. Struggle, strife, worry, anxiety, depression, things that I can do nothing about. I make my way for the new to come, bursting forth into my life. Bursting forth into our life in about a week, 10 days, we probably will be sitting on a new moon, and we'll be sitting on a spring equinox. So you can see it's all bursting with life. Now, I've always contended, I learned this when I was learning to be a teacher, we have to have a breakthrough after a breakdown. Darkest before the dawn. Difficulties arise. We have to get into ourselves, go into our heart space, go into that divine knowledge and know it's going to be okay. This morning I listened to 2 lovely affirmational kind of meditations, and it really was about trust, opening your hands, opening your heart, and letting go of the things that you think you're not worthy of, you're not deserving, the struggle, the strife, the difficulties, let them go. We have a message from Archangel Chamuel. As the Archangel of personal and global peace, I can bring you to a place of serenity, no matter what the source of the unease. I am deserving of peace, harmony, and tranquility are mine. I am deserving of peace. Harmony and tranquility is mine. I am the governor of the present, governing in perfect divine order, demanding and commanding that the gifts and the opulence of God be bestowed upon me now and forevermore. That's all you have to say. My services are needed and will be greatly received, or will be received with gladness. I am tending to the garden of importance. What is important to you? I am on my way. I am my own magic. I am magically manifesting my future right now. Magically manifesting your future, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Get excited about magically manifesting the future for you. I know my eyes are drawn to this card too, and I'm going to get to that because it looks a little scary, but it's not. The Water Guardian, here they are. They have been our angel activators this week. Comes from a lovely deck by Kyle Gray with images by, I want to say, Jennifer Hawkyard. Yes. Whoop, there's a candle. Almost got knocked over. Thank goodness it's not lit. There are a lot of feelings. Here we go. There are a lot of feelings within you, and it's time to let them out. Your emotions are powerful messengers that allow you to express the tender, more vulnerable parts of yourself. Don't fight against it, for in revealing this natural part of yourself, you are also revealing your beauty and your gifts and allowing others to witness the most authentic part of you. Water Guardian, I trust my emotions and let them flow with ease. Trust. You know, I was, what's been coming up for me lately this week is the aha moment, divine, what do you want to call that? I don't know whether you want to call it messages. It just comes through. When asking, what am I doing wrong? Or am I doing something I need to do differently? How is this happening? Because there's an awful lot of trouble and turmoil and strife everywhere. Being in the business of helping other people to transform, I think was part of my birthright. It's part of my purpose. It's also part of what explains that I am okay with walking into the dark, because in the darkness comes the light. And I've done it again and again and again, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and in this life. So I'm always being reminded of what that darkness feels like and what it feels like to come out of it. So being part of the transformation myself is also helping other people be part of their transformation, transforming into something else, because what is not working needs to be gone. I digress. What came to me more important is I can give the love out without a doubt, without any problems, without any trouble. I'm not sure I trust the love, the gifts, and the blessings that come back towards me. I'll get to a little bit more about that before we get to the end, otherwise this is going to turn into a novel. We have Thoth. Thoth is about magical divine blessings. He's saying, be the teacher, and the student awakens when the teacher understands the lesson. The student awakens when the teacher understands the lesson. So the teacher needs to understand the lesson before the student can awaken. And that is part of everybody that's out there. We could be a student at one moment and then we get to share what we learned. However, when we share what we learned, we also teach ourselves at the same time as in the sharing. I'm hoping this makes sense. There are sometimes an original thought that's channeled, that comes through the divine, that comes through something that gets added. You know, we've all evolved. A little over 100 years ago, people were going around the streets with horses and buggies, if they were lucky. Then came the automobile. Then came the early buses. I don't even know if steam trains were out. I'm not really sure. I think the late 1800s we had steam locomotives. But about 100 years ago, the early 1920s, mid 1920s, things were roaring. That's why they call it the Roaring Twenties. Automation was coming. Factories were being built. Industry was starting. Now think about every decade, and there may have been 10 of them since. How much changes in each one of these decades relies upon the magic and the miracles of somebody showing somebody something else and then adding a new piece of technology or discovery to it. We can go all the way back to Alexander Graham Bell. We can go all the way back to Thomas Edison, where light bulbs got created and electricity was being pumped through people's homes. Quite astonishing. Moving on. This card. In Ciro Marchetti's deck, it is the Death card. Now, is the woman in this card really dead? No. She's just wearing Day of the Dead makeup. Flowers on her head. Now, is she really a skeleton? No. She's just got a gloved hand on and it's painted with bones. So in other words, it's a little bit of a mask. It's a little bit of a mystery, if you will. So the fact that we're seeing a person dressed in death, if you will, suggests that this card is more about the concept of death and dying and not death, physical death itself. The card doesn't predict the death of a person. The card invites us to consider how we feel about the ending of things and how we deal with the ending of things. The Western world, death is a subject to be avoided at all costs, and then when we can't avoid it anymore, it's got to be faced with solemn truth, sometimes like a very freezing cold washcloth. Our reaction to this death card that comes up in readings doesn't have a negative connotation. In Mexico, Dia los Muertos is a day of celebration, a colorful and playful festival to remember loved ones who've gone into spirit. And this spirit in this card, we get to express something that's coming. You could look at this as New Year's Eve, and the new year bringing hope, bringing joy, bringing peace, bringing celebration. The Dia los Muertos comes up on around Halloween. It's not exactly the 31st, but it's very close to it. Now, in the Rider-Waite deck, many death cards show a white horse. Well, here the horse is given a green color. It's a horse of a different color, if that makes sense to you. The white horse refers to revelations from the New Testament. The four horsemen that's typically on this Rider-Waite deck are shown in different colors: white, black, red, and pale. So the pale horse was ridden by death, since there already is this white horse, clearly pale. Here we go, been painted. You see that on the bottom of it? So the really the essence of this card is new life emerging from the ending. Death, or the ending considered as simply one stage of a journey that continues, widening a vision for yourself, widening a vision of success for yourself. Focus on the endings leading to a new doorway, a new archway. Remember the pleasure you've had with friends, the love you had with family. This card in astrology speaks to Scorpio. This is the sign of death and rebirth, of which I am. Now, really quickly, I don't really want to spend too much time on this because it's not necessarily that great. The moon is in Capricorn. Capricorn's very grounded, very sturdy, somewhat stoic. She's also in opposition to Jupiter. So, you may find some people acting out, going over the top, being a little bit cuckoo, craky, lulu, la la. They're expressing their feelings. we're being urged not to be that person. I'll share with you briefly. Yesterday, I had a reaction to a bill that came in, and it sent me down the rabbit hole of worry, as it does. Working for myself, which I love, because it gives me freedom. And I can say with hand on my heart, I am free, I am safe, and all good things from this moment forward happen. And they usually do. Having faith that it all lines up with the right time can be a challenge. And I go back to my personal comment. I share these personal things with you because I think we're all friends, no matter where you are in the world where you're listening to this. I got to share my authentic self if I want to connect with you. It's no good me sharing there's our card. It's no good me sharing myself if I'm not willing. It's no good me hiding myself and hiding what's going on, and then expecting you to pour your heart out, expecting you in your comments to say something. There we go. Confidence. So, this is all coming together. Success is what we all want. Tending to the garden of importance is really what we need to do. If we're locked in fear, that's like having the gates in the garden closed, shut and locked. Get that unlocked. Unlock the padlock. Know that whatever you're doing for a living, whatever you're doing for your friends, whether it's picking up groceries or just having a cup of coffee, those services will be needed. You are deserving of peace, harmony, and tranquility. Most definitely. You're your own magic. You got to magically manifest your future right now. And the death card, open the door to new beginnings. Let go of the person that you no longer are. Allow your feet to be in the dirt and allow your shoots of activity to thrive. And do it all with confidence. Let me see if I've missed anything from our angel queen of confidence, because I like her energy today. I need her energy today, and I'm sure you do too. Where is she? Okay. Manifest confidence by simply believing in and accepting yourself exactly as you are. Flaws, warts, all that stuff. Accept it. Know that you're the authority in your own life, and that you have nothing to prove to anybody. Become your own cheerleader. The affirmation, if you want one, that comes from the author of this deck, which is Karen Kay. I had to look, I'm sorry. I am confident. Every decision I make is driven by total belief in myself. All right, my friends, that's it from me. I'm going to put these links back up there. Hopefully that you will be willing, able, and just to give me a little blessing of something. Anything will be just gratefully received. Until tomorrow, be loved, be light, be all those things you can be. I'll put these links and this QR code in the description under the video, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye for now.